Snow White. Have I got the energy for Snow White? So the beginning is pretty much your standard fairy tale stuff. King and nice queen have a baby whose hair is as black as ebony, whose lips are as red as blood, and whose skin is as white as snow. The nice queen dies and the king remarries a year later to an arrogant woman who's obsessed with being the fairest of them all. She basically just wants the Miss World title and she'll be happy. She's got this magic mirror that she asks every day, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And every day the mirror replies, you are. I don't think she's genuinely asking. I think she's like that one annoying friend that we all have who always looks completely and utterly gorgeous no matter what they look like, but always asks, do I look okay? Knowing full well that they look unbelievable, just so we all go, oh my god, you look so pretty. Stop it. It's not a genuine question, which is why it's such a slap in the face when one day the mirror replies, actually, you're not the fairest in the land anymore. You've been overtaken by a 7-year-old. Snow White is now 7 years old and hotter than the evil queen. So the queen hires a huntsman to have Snow White killed. It's so overdramatic. All she needs to do is wait a few years until Snow White's a teenager and acne will solve all of her problems. Also, what sort of a mirror is that? If all you want is to be told every day that you're more gorgeous than everybody else in the land, just enchant your mirror to tell you that whether it's true or not. Now, looking at this story, there doesn't seem to be any passing of time at all. So Snow White is still 7 when the queen hires the huntsman to kill her. But not only kill her, he needs to bring back her heart, lungs and liver as proof that she's been killed. Why doesn't the queen just ask the mirror? If you ask the mirror who's the fairest of them all and the mirror says you are, you know that Snow White's dead. If the mirror says nope, still Snow White, then you know that she's still alive. The huntsman doesn't kill her, otherwise there'd be no story. He kills a boar and takes the heart, lungs and liver out of that and gives them to the queen, who then eats them. Bear in mind that she still thinks that that's Snow White. She's eating Snow White. Cannibalism. You can see why they cut that out of the Disney version, eh? So this is where she meets the 7 dwarves. So the dwarves are about to have a massive go at her for, breaking and entering into their house, which is a pretty big deal. But then they see her and see how pretty she is and just swoon over her and forgive her immediately. She's 7. She's lived for as many years as there are creepy old men standing around her bed watching her sleep. So now the queen goes to her mirror and asks who's the fairest of them all, and the mirror replies, well, Snow White is still alive, so her. So the queen devises a plan where she's going to kill Snow White herself. She dresses up as an old woman selling corsets. Not apples. Corsets. And basically the queen makes her try on this corset. She's 7, wearing a corset, and the queen does it up so tight that Snow White can't breathe, and then she just leaves her to suffocate. But the dwarves come home in time, see her passed out, and they save her. So the queen thinks she's killed her and asks her mirror the question again, and I can imagine the mirror being like one of those chocolate bar rapper competitions where it just says, better luck next time, try again. So the queen disguises herself as a different old woman selling poisoned combs. Again, not apples. Combs. Like hair combs, like brush your hair combs. You think Snow White would remember what happened last time that she let a stranger into the house, but nope, she lets this old woman in too. No problems. And she lets the old woman put the comb in her hair and immediately she passes out. But luckily the dwarves come home in time again and they take the comb out of her hair and immediately Snow White wakes up. That's not how poison works. The queen gets the better luck next time speech from the mirror and says, right, this time I'm going to do it properly. I'm going to poison apples. There we go. We know this works. This time, the dwarves have forbidden Snow White from letting anybody into the house, but she still accepts an apple through the window. It's like she's just being sarky. Well, technically, I didn't let anyone in the house. Snow White takes a bite out of the apple and immediately dies. She's dead. Definitely dead. But for some odd reason, her body doesn't decay. The dwarves put her in this coffin, but strangely don't bury her. Convenient. And no story is complete without a prince. He's a little bit late, but better late than never. This prince sees Snow White and immediately falls in love with her, of course, and wants to buy her and the coffin from the dwarves. What he wants with a dead girl, I don't know, but what he does on his own time. So the dwarves just give him the coffin, and they kind of provide a removal van service where they all pick up the coffin on their shoulders and start to carry it off to the prince's castle. But one of the dwarves stumbles and jolts the coffin, and the bit of apple that was stuck in Snow White's throat dislodges and she wakes up again. She didn't choke to death on an apple, it was a poisoned apple. That's why she dies. She dies of poison, not choking, so this story makes no sense. And there's no kiss either. Where's the fairy tale kiss that we love so much? Ooh, it's so frustrating. The prince, having not even spoken to her properly yet, says we're getting married, and the evil queen gets an invite. Firstly, why? Secondly, why does she go? She actually turns up not thinking it's going to be a trap, which obviously it is. She's made to wear hot iron shoes and forced to dance until she drops down dead. So yeah, Not a lot of that in the Disney version. If Snow White's body didn't decay when she was dead, I'm assuming she also didn't age. So presumably she's still 7 and she's married now. How old's the prince?